Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi guys, my name is Aulia du Febriyani. I'm from Senior High School to Kudus, IS Researcher 1.
Hi everyone, my name is Sabrina Kasih, as Research 2 from Senior High School to Kudus. So we will explain about adaptation and mitigation of Setrokalangan Village toward flood disaster. Kudus is a district in the province of Central Java which has a high potential for disaster. According to M.Pd 2011, Kudus Regency has a disaster-prone index with a score of 78, high category disaster hazard classes and nationally ranked 103. The most dominant levels of disaster vulnerability that occur are landslide and floods. Flood is a disaster that very often hits Kudus Regency. Kaliwungu sub-district is one of the areas with high potential for flooding. Setrokalangan Village is one of the villages affected by the flood in Kaliwungu district. Floods in Setrokalangan Village continue to recur every year because the area is crossed by the Wulan River which originates in
Objective: measuring the readiness and adaptation of the community in facing flood disasters that take place every year. Produce data that is useful for policy making, especially in the field of disaster education, to increase community capacity in dealing with disaster. Research question: what is the level of adaptation of the people of Setrokalangan Village in dealing with floods? 2. What is the level of preparedness of the Setrokalangan villager in facing flood this year? 3. Why do people prefer to stay at home when flood occur rather than take refuge in refuge posts?
Description of time and place. Interviews were conducted on 6 October 2020 at 12 until 13 p.m. The interview was conducted in Setrokalangan Village. This village is located in the Kaliwungu subdistrict, Kudus Regency. Data collection technique. Data collection technique were taken by conducting field survey and conducting interview with several residents and village heads. Interviews were conducted using questionnaires to each respondent. In addition, the study used two measurement variables with the consideration that adaptation and preparedness are interrelated elements. The number of respondents is 20 people from Setrokalangan Village. Sampling was done purposefully, namely prioritizing the research objective rather than the nature of the sample. The data analysis technique used in this study include transcript on the result on the interviews and then the results were classified.
Based on the result of interview in the form of giving a questionnaire to each respondent, it was found that the level of preparedness of Setrokalangan villager was still classified as moderate. In other words, Setrokalangan villager was still not ready. This is due to a lack of knowledge, educational factor from the villagers themselves, lack of socialization from the village government, and the lack of adequate infrastructure. Even so, the villagers of Setrokalangan usually still do community service to clean waterways clogged with garbage. However, the lack of coordination between villagers has resulted in unscheduled implementation of community service. As for disaster adaptation, the Setrokalangan villager is classified.
Conclusions. Adaptation research and disaster preparedness in the village of Setrokalangan is a type of quantitative research. This study uses adaptation and disaster preparedness indicators which are translated into a questionnaire. Based on research interviews, it can be concluded that the level of preparedness in facing disaster falls into the medium category. Meanwhile, the level of adaptation in dealing with disaster is classified as good.
I think enough for our presentation. Sorry if there is an error. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you.